Ivy Meyers, Northtown Neighborhood News Magazine. Want to welcome all of you. Special thanks to Sonny Hersh, who co-produces the show with me. Watch all of our shows on the web at www.ntnm.org. Over 40,000 shows have been watched so far. Community policing we're really big on. Caps24.org for all the local meetings in Rogers Park and West Rogers Park. Call 311 for the rest of the city. We have been focusing as much as we possibly can on the judicial races because judges can affect an individual about as much as anything going. And I think it's important that people get to know them and get to that part of the ballot and vote appropriately. And it is a pleasure to introduce you to a blue ribbon candidate who actually, without being the endorsed candidate, her ratings were so overwhelmingly positive that she beat the endorsed candidate, Debra Walker. How are you?
Great. Thank you very much for having me on your show.
First of all, a pleasure. Thank you. And tell us about what's it like. I mean, all of a sudden, it's like you weren't, you sort of beaten the system in a sense. It seems like the qualifications reigned in over the career politicians.
Well, it was. I knew that I had to focus on the primary.
Yeah.
Because I'm in Cook County. And I knew that I would likely not have an opponent in the general election. Republicans are reluctant, I think, to run for countywide office in Cook County. So I knew I had to focus on the primary. I had to raise some money. I had to raise my visibility. I had to make sure that all my ducks were in a row. And so I focused on that. And you're right, it's kind of like once February passed, I've just kind of been waiting now. I'm still practicing law, but I'm waiting to be sworn in, and I'm very excited about it. It's a dream of mine. I have been working on trying to become a judge since 1999.
Wow. Okay. I'm glad you got there. And
Thank you.
Certainly the ratings from all the various bar associations. Well, one thing I will say, he doesn't usually like his name mentioned, but we have a mutual friend, Michael Strom.
We do.
That I hope by the time this airs will himself be an associate judge at that point. But Michael actually has brought you to my attention and started talking about how highly qualified you were. And I wish he would have brought you up earlier because I would have put you on TV in the primary. But it's a pleasure to have you on now.
Well, that's kind of you, Avi. Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Now, tell us, what kind of law are you practicing and what's it going to be like, with the transition? So what kind of law do you do right now?
Well, I'm a partner at a law firm named Clausen Miller on LaSalle Street, and I defend professionals when they're sued for malpractice.
Oh.
So I represent both medical and non-medical professionals. I represent medical entities like HMOs and nursing homes, hospitals, physicians, mental health care workers. I also represent lawyers, so I am a lawyer's lawyer.
Oh,
I represent accountants and other financial professionals because I was a CPA for a few years before I went to law school. So I enjoy that work very much. As a dual professional, I've always enjoyed working on professional liability cases. And that's what I've been doing now for, I'm just finishing up my 21st year as a practicing attorney.
Congratulations.
And thanks. And the transition is going well. I had my last trial in May. I'm now have had a good summer, and I'm beginning to wrap up my files and prepare to transition them to my partners at Clausen. And also transitioning some of the clients, making a couple of trips to provide introductions to my partners and that type of thing. And after the general election, I'll take a few weeks off in between jobs. The times when we don't have job stress are so few and far between.
Oh, you should take advantage for sure.
I'm going to take a few weeks off, and then the swearing in is on December 1st.
Oh,
so, very excited.
So, you don't have, beginning judges, you're basically going to be assigned. That much I know at this point.
Correct. My understanding is the day that I'm sworn in, I'll actually get my assignment from Chief Judge Tim Evans.
Yeah.
And nearly everyone in recent times has started in traffic court. And I understand that that's a great place to learn to be a judge because there's a lot of interaction between you and the public. And you learn how to manage a high-volume call. You learn how to work with all of your staff members. And I'm really looking forward to it. And, of course, the first 2 weeks will be new judges school anyway. So be a little bit of an education.
That's something no one ever told me. That's interesting.
Right. And then I think even after new judges school, generally, if the court can accommodate you, they have you sit in with the judge that's handling the courtroom that you're going to take over. So you get an opportunity to kind of observe and learn more even than just what you learn in new judges school. So I'm really looking forward to it. I can't begin to tell you.
No, that sounds great. That sounds absolutely great. Yeah, everybody winds up. That's what I understand. Is almost everybody winds up in traffic court.
Right.
And it's quite an education. Is there any particular area you're hoping to get into as a judge, or?
Well, sure. Eventually, I'd like to be in either the law division, which is where I practice,
Yeah.
or in the chancery division of the courts. I think that's where I could best utilize my skill set of both accounting and law, especially like if I could get on the commercial calendar or an assignment like that, where I'd be helping businesses resolve their disputes. But, in the interim, I'm happy to serve anywhere where the chief judge wants me to go. I think a logical place for me might be, as a sort of a middle ground, might be the domestic relations division, because a lot of the contested divorces are really all about following the money. And since I'm a CPA, I have the additional benefit of understanding financial statements and income tax returns, and some of those things that other judges who don't have an accounting background might not have that same benefit. So, I'm happy and willing to serve anywhere, but those are probably the primary courts that would make most sense for me later on down the road. But I also know that you sort of have to pay your dues sometime as you wait.
Well, I do hope you get them. At this point, I want to congratulate you, Judge-to-be Debra Walker.
Thank you very much.
I want to wish you a lot of luck, and I'm so glad you could stop by and help educate us. We want to thank all of you for joining us today on the Northtown Neighborhood News Magazine. Special thanks to Michael Strom, who's always helpful, who I hope now is Judge Strom. And,
absolutely. I'm hoping right along with you, Avi.
Okay, it sounds great, and I look forward, we'll be talking to you, Judge Walker. We want to wish you a lot of luck in your new role.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.